Good morning, everyone. It is Monday morning, December 14th, 2020, and it's 9:02, so you know what time that is. It's time to get the party started for the week. So I want to say thank you to everyone that's on the call, taking time to be on this call, where you're getting the information first here at Health Plan Markets. So thanks again for taking the time to be here. So first up, we always like to start off with our training calendar. Again, it's a light week because of the holidays. Obviously, after AEP, I think a lot of these companies are burning out and figuring out, what to do for AEP. So for this week, it is light. The first thing on our calendar at 10 o'clock this morning, here in Orlando, Dedicated is hosting their VIP Executive Tour, and that is at their brand new facility at Orange Blossom Trail. This is a primary care physician office, and let me tell you, they have marketing reps that are producing leads out in the community. So if you are in the Orlando market and are looking for physicians to work with, Dedicated is there. They're going to be at the facility doing tours today at 10 a.m. The address is on the calendar, but just very quickly, it's 4613 South Orange Blossom Trail. I'm sure everyone is invited because they want to grow that facility. That's one of 3 that they've just recently opened here in Orlando. So if you're in the Orlando market looking for a doctor to work with, I do highly recommend checking them out. Also this morning at 11, Devoted is hosting their weekly broker coffee and chat session. And this is for the Orlando market. However, all are welcome if you are interested or are selling Devoted and have questions. I believe Jeanette is hosting that one today at 11. So that's all we've got for today. Tomorrow, December 15th, Cigna at 11 a.m. is hosting their social media sales training. So if you are looking to increase your leads and do sales online, this is the training for you. Remember, Cigna is 5 stars. So that means you can sell them right now for 1/1 effective. So if you need a little boost in your January 1st AEP, Cigna is 5 stars. You can write them today for January 1st effective and for the rest of the year. So no open enrollment for them. You can write them year-round. So don't forget about that. No training on Wednesday. On Thursday, December 17th, the last thing on the calendar for the week is Devoted hosting their broker coffee and chat session at 11:30. This one's geared for the Jacksonville market, but again, all are welcome that sell or have questions about Devoted Health. So that's your training for the week. I hope you guys take advantage of that. If it is slow for you right now, best thing to do is get that training rolling. So that way you're up and ready for the new year. And no surprises, right? Okay, moving on. I've been getting a lot of phone calls and text messages and emails about what's going on with COVID-19. We were hearing that Devoted had an SEP available. We were hearing that Freedom had an SEP available. But I'm here to clarify that there is absolutely no COVID-19 SEP right now for any plans. Devoted and Freedom have retracted their statement that they will be accepting COVID-19 applications. According to CMS, the COVID-19 SEP ended on June 30th. It will not be accepted as a qualifying SEP from any company. Okay, so if you had submitted applications previously, most likely they will go through Devoted. But if you are looking to do an application today because you had thought that maybe possibly you can put it in for COVID, the answer is you cannot do it. It will most likely be rejected. So just keep that in your hat. I know we all got excited because we're like, all right, we can write some more 1/1s, but there's still opportunity for 1/1 effectives for your clients or prospects that may have missed the AEP. Okay, so no COVID, we can't use that, but there are eligible SEPs for the hurricanes that went through, mostly impacting Texas and Florida in certain parts, which I would say the northwest areas of Florida I did have a video that I had created that lists the actual counties, so you can go back on our YouTube channel and find that video. It was from a couple of weeks ago, but check your emails for more details on the storms and what counties are eligible for an SEP. If you are using that SEP right now, please keep in mind that it is for select counties. All carriers are accepting this SEP, but they must be able to prove, you remember, must be able to prove that they were unable to select a plan during AEP. Okay, so if they were, out of power for a few days, or something happened where they were not able to make a plan change during AEP, then you can select FEMA, weather-related incident, whatever's on the application, on whether it's electronic or not, but you do need to verify that the county is eligible. So I can tell you that Orlando Greater is not in that mix. However, north of Tampa is. So just check that list, and that way you can make sure that your clients are eligible. But we're going to talk about preparing for OEP, and don't forget you've got 5-star plans with both Cigna and Care Plus that you can continue to write business today. Okay. Humana. Humana is disconnecting their telephonic signature at this time. According to their email, they had mentioned that because it's a slower time of enrollment, they do not expect that that tool will be used very often. So they are going to discontinue the telephonic signature at this time. I don't know if they're going to bring it back for OEP or what the case might be, but traditionally, because enrollments are usually slower between now and the first of the year, it makes sense, I guess, for them. You still have the ability to do your online enrollment through the Fast App service on your Vantage portal or the Enrollment Hub. If you've got that app for your iPad, you can do that as well. And then also, of course, paper, which I'm not a fan of. You guys know that. But the telephonic signature is no longer going to be available as of today. So if you are planning on doing an enrollment with Humana over the phone, that will not be available. Okay. United Healthcare, they did launch a brand new marketing material campaign in the portal. So if you go into your Jarvis under your marketing materials, they have holiday cards now. So we're all getting in the spirit, obviously, for the new year, and I know many of us can't wait to get into 2021 with all the craziness that 2020 has brought us. So if you're sitting down, gearing up, what do I do right now with my hands? I need to keep my hands busy. I finished my AEP. Well, I've got some ideas for you, and one of those ideas is sending out holiday cards, right? Depending on, how you feel. If you want to be politically correct, Happy Holidays is pretty generic out there. But they do have some of those materials on the United Healthcare portal. You can download those. Nothing is more impressive than receiving a holiday card that is personalized and filled out and signed by you. I know sometimes it takes a long time to do those kinds of things, but it makes a major impact in your relationship with your clients. So if you're thinking about doing it, kicking the tires, I would tell you just do it. It has made a great impact in my business when I was selling. And I always put 2 or 3 of my business cards in there, and I was guaranteed at least one referral every time I did something like this. So, yeah, it's a little bit of elbow grease. If you've got your kids around for the holidays or your nephews and nieces or whatever, put them to work for some lunch money. Get them all hopped up on eggnog and get them to help you fill out some Christmas cards. So that's my suggestion on marketing. I think that would be a great idea if you're lost or if you need some things to do. Okay. All right. Health First has announced for ACA, switching gears here. Tomorrow is the last day for open enrollment for 2021 for ACA business. So, finish strong today, the rest of this day, and then tomorrow. Remember, Health Sherpa is our enrollment tool, making it very, very simple to compare plans and get people enrolled. So you've got Health Sherpa there. Just remember that here in Central Florida, I can tell you, we've got Molina, we've got Cigna, we've got Oscar, Bright Health, Health First, and Ambetter. Those are all the major carriers in the greater Orlando market. But you do have Health First that also has off-exchange plans, so they will be accepting off-exchange plans after AEP. So if you have somebody that missed the deadline and these other companies are not going to be accepting apps, it looks like Health First is going to be accepting only off-exchange plans from December 16th to December 31st. So you have another 15 days or so to get your member enrolled if they're off exchange. Okay, so that means no subsidy for them, no special discounts or anything like that. So just make sure that you get your people enrolled today and tomorrow. But if not, at least you have a backup plan with Health First health plans. Just remember that they're in select counties, not all counties, when you're offering that to your customer there. Okay, we're going to talk about OEP, but before we do that, I was informed of a service that I thought would really help your members, and Mr. Kelly had shared this service. It's a service called Internet Essentials. It's actually sponsored and maintained by Comcast, is what I come to find out upon my research. So Internet Essentials is basically allowing seniors and those folks with low income to have internet inside their house for $9.95 per month, plus tax, of course. But it gives them 25 megabytes per second. There's no contract. There's no credit check, and they do in-home Wi-Fi. So it even comes with the Wi-Fi set up for their homes. So who qualifies for that? So according to this, it's those members that qualify for Medicaid. Specifically, those folks that qualify for the National School Lunch Program, housing assistance, Medicaid, anyone that has the food stamps, the SNAP program, SSI. Okay. Now they do have to live in a Comcast Internet Service area. Okay, so if they're not in a Comcast area, like if they're in a Spectrum area, obviously they wouldn't be able to take advantage of this program. And they must not have had Comcast Internet in the last 90 days. So they've never had Comcast in the last 90 days. And households who owe money to Comcast may still qualify if they go through this program before December 31st. So you can sign up, you can have your members sign up or check out the program at internetessentials.com/apply. There's a button there where they can apply as well. And it's a simple application there. So thank you, Kelly, for sharing that with the team. We appreciate it. I know that many of my seniors did not have internet at all, and we know we use it every day. Even right now I'm using it to host this call, and it's so important in our day-to-day lives. And especially with what's happening in the world, having internet would be so important to those seniors, and maybe they can do some video calls where they weren't able to do that. It's also about bringing connectivity and bringing resources to your clients. Remember, bringing those resources are most important, because when they see you as a resource, what ends up happening is they kind of see you as an unpaid employee. And what happens when that happens is you start getting referrals, and they start telling their friends and family and everybody about how great you are and what you do for them. Because it's not just about health insurance, it's about helping them with their internet. It's helping them apply for Social Security, helping them apply for Medicare, helping them apply for Medicaid. All of these services that you do for the community should generate loads and loads and loads of referrals for you. I know sometimes it's frustrating because you go out there and you do all this hard work for the community, and you may not get a referral right away. But I'll be honest with you, it's just part of the grind, okay? So where I would start, if you're interested in really helping out with these types of programs, is call your book of business. And we're going to talk about that too. We just went through AEP, and wait a minute, Justin, you're telling me to call my book of business again? Absolutely. All right. So let's talk about that. So for OEP, which starts January 1st, just to go through the rules here, remember that open enrollment for Medicare starts January 1st and it ends on March 31st. And seniors can make one more change between that time. Okay, so if they're unhappy with their selection during AEP, or they, forgot about OEP and they, made a last-minute change and they want to change now, remember you can start enrolling your members for as early as February 1st effective, starting January 1st. Okay, so it's always the first of the following month. So if you enroll somebody January 15th, they'll be effective February 1st. If you enroll them February 15th or February 16th, they'll be effective March 1st. And then anytime in March, they'll be effective April 1st. Okay. Now, that's outside of 5-star plans, because we do have 5-star plans. We have Cigna, we have Care Plus, and those you can enroll year-round. It does not affect OEP. So if you have a member that's a little wishy-washy, maybe save that 5-star enrollment for later on in the year and use OEP to get them enrolled. Now, there's a couple of tidbits that you got to know about. The first thing is it must be a like plan to like plan. So those folks that are on original Medicare right now cannot use OEP to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan. Okay, they cannot. It has to be like plan to like plan. So if somebody calls up and says, I'm not happy with my United plan and I want to change to Freedom, you can use that during OEP. Or if I want to change from WellCare to Humana, you can do those things during OEP. But one change, so once that change is made, once that application is submitted and it goes effective, they have used their OEP enrollment. They cannot use it again. It's done. Okay? So it's a one-time get out of jail for free. But let's say you have a member that's on Medicare Advantage and they're just not happy with it and they want to go back to a supplement or they want to go back to original Medicare. They can do that also during OEP. So they can actually disenroll from a plan during OEP. And so that's the like plan to like plan. If they're on a Part D, they can change Part Ds, no problem. If they're on Medicare Advantage, they can change to Medicare Advantage. But they can't cross over, okay? So just remember that. And that's where that 5-star is going to come in for you, or other SEPs, which we're going to cover in a different call. So that really helps out with those members that kind of waited too long to enroll, or you didn't get around to them, or they finally answered their phone. We've seen a lot of that. The other thing, too, is we are not allowed to advertise in any way steering them to make a change during OEP. So, for instance, you can't send out anything that says, hey, you can make one more change, or did you know you can change plans between January 1st and March 31st? No, can't do that. Medicare rules tell us that we cannot do that. So what we can do is offer our customer service. I'm here for you. I'm here to help you with your plan. Do you have questions about your health insurance? Are you unhappy with your health plan? That's as far as we can go. It's as far as we can go. Okay, because there are so many other SEPs available, but we can't say, hey, you can make a change, and yes, you can change one more time, or, you can change here. So we can't do anything as far as advertising or marketing in that fashion, but we can let them know that you're there, you're part of the community, and you're there to help people. And it kind of goes back to that holiday card. So let's start prepping for OEP on this call here. Okay, what should I be doing to get ready for OEP? All right. So if you have a book of business, the first thing that I would do is I would be very nervous about my retention, right? Because in January, from January 1st to March 31st, your members also can make a change. So the first thing that you should attack, the first thing that you should really be concerned about is retention, right? So very shortly, I know Kim is gearing up to start Book of Business calls again. So if you're interested in getting help and having Kim give your Book of Business a call and set up appointments for you or check your members for you, just to check in, that's important to do starting late December and then throughout January and February, March. That's what we're going to be doing, is we're going to be calling clients, making sure that they're happy with their selection for AEP. And if they're not, they should be telling you, okay, not the person they bump into at the grocery store or the pharmacy, right? So talking to your members is absolutely important during OEP or right at the beginning of OEP, because if they are unhappy with the plan, they start using the plan and it's not what they thought it was, then they'll have a chance to change and hopefully they give you a call. Now, utilization. Utilization is basically the member using the plan as directed, right? So once members start utilizing the plan, that's when things really start coming out in the wash, okay? They go to the pharmacy and the copay was a lot higher than what they thought it was. Or they went to the doctor's office and their copayment went up, right? All of those things that happen when they start using their plan start to come out of the wash in January, okay? So that's why I say it's so important that you keep a connection, an open communication dialogue with your clients right now throughout the holidays, and also letting them know that if they have any questions or concerns about their plan, that you are here and you'll be working year-round. So just let them know, okay? So I would honestly use that. That would be step one. Step two, I personally, and we're going to play the If I Were You game. If I were you, I would also send them a postcard letting them know, hey, I'm still here. Hope your plan's still working for you. If you have any questions, please let me know. And oh, by the way, if you know anyone that needs help, I'm here to help them too, right? So always asking for that referral, always building that relationship, solving those problems, and ensuring that the customer service is at its maximum, okay? So you've got that covered under the phone calls and under the mailers. I think that's phenomenal. If you don't reach those folks, a text message would be, I think, essential as well for those folks that you just didn't get a hold of, or maybe also an email, okay? You don't want to overwhelm them, but you do want to reach people in different ways if they're not responding. So if they're not responding to a phone call or a voicemail, and they're not responding to the mailer, then maybe email is best or maybe text message is best. I know for me that sometimes happens. I get so jammed up that I can't answer a phone call, but I can answer a text message very quickly. So it does help with communication to give people options on how they communicate. Okay, so OEP, again, opens up January 1st to March 31st. So if you have leads that are still coming at you, if you have leads that you didn't get around to, or they just now popped out of the woodwork and they're saying, hey, I need help with this, you know, some of these folks you'll be able to help with the 5-star, but other ones you can say, you know what, let's get together in January and we'll get this hashed out. Because in January you'll have OEP and you'll be able to make that one more change for them as early as February 1st. So with that, I'm going to stop there because we're going to be a little over time with questions. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up to everyone. Bear with me just one moment. All right. Does anyone have any questions this morning?
So, Justin, can you hear me?
Yes. Good morning. Hi, Liz. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what you're saying is normally we can't use the 5-star for December, but you're saying that we can use the 5-star for December.
You can use the 5-star right now in December for January 1st effective. Yes, ma'am. And you can use that for both Cigna and Care Plus. That's correct. That's correct.
Okay, that's the only question I had.
You got it. All right. Any other questions this morning?
Yes. Does that using that 5-star for a 1/1 effective use their 5-star for the year?
Oh, that's a great question. John is tricky, isn't he? So, John brings up a great point. Right now we're writing for January 1st effectives for 2021. Okay? So if you are using 5-star right now, you will be using their 5-star selection for the entire plan year 2021. Okay? So that means even though you're writing them here in December for 5-star, if they come back to you and say, hey, I want to change to the other 5-star plan, they will not be able to do that because you are using their 5-star election for 2021. So we are considered in the plan year right now. Okay, great question, John. Thanks for catching that. All right, any other questions this morning? All right, well, be that way. No, I thank you guys for being on the call. We appreciate it. We will see you here next week on Monday. And if you have any other questions, please reach out to please reach out to Health Plan Markets. You guys know how to reach us, 844-696-3975. Have a wonderful week, and please let us know how we can help. Thank you.